He's not gonna have a pension. You're not gonna have no pension.
Oh yeah.
Video.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
Yeah, it's not.
You mean I ain't got no pension?
Right.
Tell me to calm down. After 30 some years, the man ain't gonna have a pension.
Right.
Why do you go to work? They taught you. I'm pretty sure at his generation definitely taught you go to work, stay on your job for 30 some years so you can have that pension afterwards. Right. He did that and they're like, yeah, no pension. What? Right? And then on the fourth day, for 3 more days, I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Good. But it's important. It's important. You know, there's 8 billion people in the world.
Right.
And you guys are watching us. So you're going to hear about it.
This topic is basically...
Oh, no. Go ahead. You talk about that topic.
This topic is basically going to come to you in a few seconds. Stand by.
We're going to do this. We're going to do this podcast.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you something. This is the 4th time that we tried to do this podcast, that we tried to do this episode. The one. This is the one.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to the P.O.T.T, Power of the Tongue. I am FJ Styles.
And my name is I Am We the Philosopher.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Hey, if you are just joining us for the first time, thank you and welcome. And if you are returning, this is our episode 2. Welcome back and thank you for checking in with us.
Thank you so much.
We got dope conversations on this show.
Dope conversations. Oh man.
Yo, we just get.
You see how happy we seem. how much laughter we're having right now. This is like absolutely funny. Absolutely funny.
Absolutely funny.
This is.
You have no idea, but you're about to know.
This is the 5th. This is the 5th time that we're trying to do this podcast, this episode.
This actually is the 6th.
This the 6th? No, I thought it was the 5th.
Is it the 5th?
Well, we'll count it, but I think it's the 5th. I think it's the 5th.
Okay.
What you think it is?
No,
what you think it is?
It's the 5th.
Wow,
he's the head.
She just gave in. What if I'm wrong?
I gotta submit.
Anyway, so yeah, we tried it the other day, and the camera ran out of record space, so it just cut off on us. Right? Okay. So then we tried it again, and what happened? Oh, we tried it again, and we did the whole conversation.
Oh my God.
We recorded the whole conversation. Mm-hmm. It was a good conversation. Oh my goodness. And we went to go check back, and there was nothing on the camera. We forgot to hit record or something. I don't know what happened, but there was nothing on the camera. I thought we hit record, but then we tried it again. And Mr. Softy was outside for about 15 minutes. Just boop, 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 boop. You know the music. Just outside for 15 minutes, right outside. And so that's coming through. And then we tried it again. And the mic cord was not plugged into the camera. So we did a whole episode. It was another full good episode, but it didn't sound good. Yeah.
We forgot to plug the mics in.
So I was gonna just post that one, but we believe in trying to put forth a great effort, our best effort. I know God's strength is made perfect in our weakness. So I was like, you know what? The stuff we're saying in this podcast, in this episode, is really good. Maybe just post it, but just something in me that was like, Don't do it. So now we're on episode. How many was that, Cass? This is episode 5. This is 5. No, this is
Episode 2, but it's
this is episode 2.
But we messed up how many times?
Take 5.
Hey, I said it's 5.
Hey,
y'all
you see
heard
that?
it, right? I said 5.
You see
I
that?
agreed with him.
This is why the Bible says submit. You understand? The Bible said women submit.
Listen, you can't hold this over my head.
'Cause your husband is
'cause we had
always
it on
right.
Recording. I said yes, you are right.
There's one time I get to be right.
Yes.
Yeah.
One time. So, I mean,
Hey, and y'all see
can scratch that
fellas.
one out.
Y'all see fellas. Women do say that we're right sometimes, at least on camera.
well, at least you heard
can't-
that I
she
said.
couldn't, she couldn't deny it on
Oh
camera.
my gosh. Lord God.
Oh, and Cassidy said it was 6. women.
Oh.
Yeah, say nah. Love you, Cass.
Wow.
Thank you for being here.
So obviously this message is for someone.
Yeah.
Because it just was not going right. And we
Yeah.
said, no, we're not going to be defeated. We do everything, try to do everything to the best of our ability.
Yeah.
So we wasn't going to just give you anything. But here we are now. So
Here we are
thank
now.
you guys for growing with us, because that's definitely what we're doing. We're growing.
Right.
And
right. So you want to jump straight in, or you want to talk
I
about?
want to talk about you looking great.
Talk about I look
yeah,
great.
yes you do.
I'm looking great. Am I? You
Yeah.
looking great. I tell
well,
you that.
Thank you.
You know what? Let's just cut the episode.
No, we done worked too hard,
hard.
to try to get this out.
All right. I see you after this. I see you after this conversation.
Okay, we'll talk.
When the cameras go off. It's like that.
Oh, this is what I go through all the time.
Looking
but,
like a nice
oh,
Thanksgiving dinner.
no, but you feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I am. I'm feeling good. Got my exercise. I not really exercise, but I got a little nice walk. Got to get some sweat. That feels good. But how about yesterday? Yesterday, before we tried to record the podcast, we went on that walk, right?
Oh yeah.
We went on a walk, and we saw.
Wow. Yeah. So we went on our walk. Well, the walk that we decided to do, because we normally go to another park, or for the atmosphere and just to see nice scenery and things like that. So we decided to take a walk outside our home. So around the park, around our way. But when we were out there, we seen I guess a husband and wife in the car, in the van, just sleeping. Like, it was really early in the morning. So it's like, it looked like that's where they were staying. And a little bit after that, a few steps after that, we seen a mother sleeping out in the park with her 2 children. They looked like they was about 1 or 2 years old.
She laying on the table like this, with her whole butt crack out. It was disgusting.
Now, mind you, it was really
Definitely,
early.
it wasn't disgusting.
And the children had like Sprites, like flaming hot chips and things like that. And it looked like that was possibly their breakfast or dinner, depending on what type of day they had. I don't know, but it was definitely sad to see.
Yeah, and the sad thing is it was kind of early, so I'm pretty sure she didn't just bring her kids to the park to play that early. One of them didn't have a shirt. I don't know if one of them didn't have shoes, but you can tell, like, snotty nose, dusty looking. Just it was really, really sad. But anyway, continue.
So with that being said, it's just sad to see.
Oh, and also, I'm sorry. So one little boy, as the mom is sleeping, he looks like he wants to run into the woods.
You can finish it.
The mom sleep. I'm sorry.
No, finish it.
And then
I insist.
And then and then we went around, and then we see him again, and he's running on the outside of the park on the sidewalk, ready to go into the street. We're calling him back, and as we call him back, he thinks he's supposed to keep running. Then his mom is like up now, and is like, come on baby. But you can tell that this is something he's used to. Like, he's not really being raised or whatever. He's just with her. I don't know what her situation is. It was really sad. And it was sad for me also. I walk around there a lot, and there's another man. He's normally there. He wasn't there yesterday. He wasn't there today, but he's normally there sitting on the bench with the cat. The cat was there. He sits on the bench reading like an old newspaper or something. I just realized I touched my beard, and my beard is not how I normally like it, but that's all good.
Nobody noticed that.
I was just being funny, but
Blows to the barber.
Nah, it's all good. He's normally there, and I walked today. That couple that we saw sitting in the truck sleeping, they were there again, and you can tell that like this is their home because like everything's in there. And the guy was in the back. I guess he was getting clothes. I guess he was changing or something. Is like this is where their truck is where they stay, and then that parking lot is like I guess somewhere that they can park up. So that's what they did. Then there was another couple. Now these are black couples. There was a white couple that came through, and as I'm walking, the lady just, and it's early in the morning, the lady just made her way, laid down on a newspaper.
Wow.
On the like step. It's like a step stand for people to sit, I guess, for the stage or whatever. And she just laid down, and then the man laid down, and I'm like, man, so this is now what, a homeless park?
Wow.
Right? And I like to be in the other neighborhoods, nice scenery, everybody walking, they have the same kind of mindset. We getting our mindset together, we getting our head together, we trying to get our bodies together, we walk in, and this is what we're doing.
Right. And
I see this, and I'm like, wow, like this is where we at. But it was a chance for me to be grateful, for me to be thankful that what they say, but for the grace of God, there go I. It could have been us with our kids.
Right.
It could have been either of our mom with our siblings.
Right.
But it wasn't.
Right.
God saw fit that we were able to have a different kind of life, although we may not have had everything that we wanted,
right,
how we wanted it, but he always supplied, and he's always there for us in
Thank
a certain
you,
way. And it's a chance for ministry. We get to see like there's something to be done.
right,
And a lot of times we want to be in the other neighborhoods, and our gifts could probably put us in those other neighborhoods.
right.
But sometimes you have to be that rose in the concrete, that rose amongst the greenery. And stand out. You have to stand out amongst this and be the one that tells the rest that, hey, there is hope. If everybody leaves and everybody goes and be a rose amongst roses, and everybody has it good, and I have a good neighborhood, then who comes to the neighborhood that needs the help and says, hey,
right,
you can be a rose as well.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes God have us in this position, but needless to say, I thank God for the ability to at least walk, and the ability to have what we do have, and he's continues supplying.
God is good, isn't he?
But no, don't be sad. Because this podcast is about uplifting, and it's about the power of the tongue, and how even in this neighborhood it's going to be great.
Yes.
We know it's going to be great. We're going to speak greatness. We're not going to speak down about it. We're going to speak up about it. So, yeah.
Yes. Be a light in this dying world, in this dark world.
We're the light.
So we might as well just get into it.
Into it after 15 minutes. But yeah, anyway.
If you're still hanging in there. All right. So this is going to be about, motivation and discipline. Why is it good to have one or the other, or is it good to have both? Do they go together? Let's get into it. What's your take on it?
Okay, so we had 2 full conversations. What's your take on it?
Well, I am the interviewer, hence the microphone stand.
That's funny.
It gives me the upper hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's in my head anyway.
Absolutely.
But y'all, just want you to start us off, and then I'll piggyback when I need to piggyback.
Okay, so motivation and discipline. Motivation is great. Motivation is awesome. Motivation is needed. Motivation gets you started. Motivation is your why. It's your reason for doing what you do. Motivation gets you up in the morning. Motivation helps you eat properly. It helps you save money when you need to.
Right.
Helps you desire to save money. when you need to. It helps you desire to get up in the morning. I'm sorry. It helps you desire to eat well and do what you have to do. But discipline is the thing that keeps you going, right? Motivation may get you started. Hey, I'm going to eat well. You know, I'm going to grab this salad. All right, you grab this salad, but you're grabbing a salad probably from, just say, the place that you're grabbing a salad probably from, say, like Wendy's, whoever. You know what I'm saying? They're not sponsoring us, so yeah, from you know the square hamburger place. You can. But you're probably grabbing a salad from there. So you grab the salad, but then you look at the menu. If you don't have discipline, now you're grabbing the nuggets. Now you're grabbing the sandwich.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have the discipline. But your motivation was like, I'm going and I'm gonna go get this salad because I really need to eat well. Right. Motivation says I'm gonna save money. I'm going to save money because I see that house that I want, or I see that car that I want, or I want to put my kids in a better school, or whatever it is that you want to do, right? But and if you don't have discipline, you're going to go to the mall and you're going to see something that you want. Yes. Now you're like, well, I'll save later, right? If it's time to eat well, you're like, well, I'll go on my diet on Monday, the famous, start my diet Monday,
famous line.
And then Wednesday comes and what you do, start your diet Monday again because you lack discipline. Discipline is the thing that keeps you. Discipline to me is the most important thing. Discipline trains you how to do things when you have to, even if you don't want to. Right. Take this podcast. Take this episode, right? It's not that I don't want to, but it's like we did this already. But we said within ourselves, we want to put out at least a better effort, right? We want to put out a good effort each time, right? To get better, but we don't want to go backwards, right? And so discipline is like integrity with yourself and with God. And you say, I want to put out as best as I can at the time. And it wasn't as best as we could at the time. So I have to say, you know what? I can just put this out, the thing that we have and whatever. But discipline says, no, you have to do it again. Even though you don't want to. Right. It gets me up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I want to get up at 3:30 in the morning. My motivation is to get up. My alarm goes off. That's another motivation.
I was about to say the alarm is the motivation.
Right. And the things I want to do, I want to give my day to God early. With no distractions. I want to read. I want to meditate on the word. I want to pray, worship, and get my mind together without social media, without emails, without YouTube, without having to have conversations with other people and thinking about work or anything like that. Give my day to God, right? My motivation says that's what I want to do. My discipline doesn't always do that. My discipline says, snooze. Right. That's a lack of discipline. So now without the discipline, I'm not doing what I need to do. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
So motivation is good. It's awesome. But discipline is...
Definitely is. So you said motivation gets you started and discipline keeps you going. And it makes sense because like just when you was just saying how your alarm is the motivation to get you up, but the discipline is actually what's going to get you up. Because you can hit snooze over and over again, but you have to have that discipline and say, no, I want it. I'm hungry. I got to get up and get it done. Right. So like for me, I am praying for discipline and I'm praying for patience, but I'm like, I know, well, I am an early riser. I'm speaking it because I would like to be an early riser. I would like to be an early riser with my coffee, of course. But I noticed the difference on even waking up early, like really early before the children, before husbands, excuse me, one
not
husband
before me.
Yes,
no, I'm joking.
That's a whole nother.
But before I can nag you and bother you.
Yes, but I notice when I get up early in the morning and I spend that quality time with God, and I noticed that it's a whole nother piece that come over me. It sets the tone for your whole day. To be honest, try it. But that discipline for you to want to get up and do that, the outcome of it and the beauty of that is the feeling that you get when you wake up early, before the noise, before the sounds of the traffic and things like that. It is a peace. It is serenity. All of the good things that you need to just have a positive look on life comes with that. So I'm praying for discipline to, like, just to get up early in the morning. It's a lot of things that I'm praying for discipline in. But that's mainly one thing that I can think of the top of my head that your girl needs. I need to start getting up early so I can be not only good to myself and my children, but to my husband. Yeah. I said that on TV. On TV, I said that. Now I got to record it. It's going to be forever.
That's funny.
Over my head.
That's funny. She's good to me. But discipline helps your life, right? Discipline helps your life. It helps you to succeed. It helps you to progress. Discipline doesn't always feel good,
right?
You know, the definition of discipline to me is a whooping. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Nah,
if we grew up the way we did when we grew up,
but that's what they told us. It was.
That's definitely motivation.
But that was a consequence, right?
Yeah.
And I believe, before I go back, that was a consequence. The whipping that we got, right? The spanking, whatever you call it, the beating, whoever got whatever you got. That was a consequence of you not following what you were being disciplined to do.
Right.
You were being disciplined to listen to the teacher. Listen, no, don't do. You know, teaching you discipline, and then if you don't do it, you got a consequence. A lot of times, like I said, discipline helps your life. And you were saying you want to pray. You want to pray for discipline, right? The thing is, I'm not knocking the prayer for discipline. Definitely pray for discipline. Definitely pray for patience. But faith without works is dead, right?
True.
So it's a thing that we have to do, right? When we plant a seed in the ground, we're not necessarily praying that seed grows. We believe that seed is going to grow.
Right.
We may pray over it, but we know I can't just hold the seed and say, Lord, please let this seed grow.
Facts.
Right? I have to now, God, please help me to have discipline, and then do it. And then you do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You do the work, right? God, please help me to get muscles. Okay, well then lift weights, do push-ups, right? Not sit at the buffet table and then God help me to get in shape.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? God help me to save money, and then I'm going to the mall every other day.
Right.
Right? So the prayer is good, but we have to put an action to it, right?
Right.
And then speaking of the whippings and the consequences, we have to give ourselves, I believe we should give ourselves some type of consequence for not following the discipline.
Right.
Right. Now the whippings that we got back in the day, they may have been extreme. Who knows, right? They weren't as bad as Kunta, right?
Right.
But if Kunta didn't run, he wouldn't have got hit, right? I think Kunta should have ran.
Oh, okay.
But you know what I'm saying? But that's another podcast. I'm just saying, a lot of times we're like, well, don't beat yourself up. You know, I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. I'm eventually I'll get there. I'm not gonna beat myself up. But at some point, beat yourself up.
Yeah.
Give yourself a consequence.
Right.
Like don't beat yourself down.
Right.
But beat yourself up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Give yourself a consequence that says, because you weren't disciplined, you have to, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, I would want to be disciplined in my eating. And then when I wasn't disciplined in my eating, when I could go to the gym, right? I can't go now because of my back, but when I could go to the gym, I get on the steps and I go harder on the steps because I wasn't disciplined. And then I tell myself, this is your fault. As I'm going on the steps and I'm exhausted, you got to keep going. This is your fault.
Wow.
You should have ate the right thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you should have done
sense.
the right thing. So it's I think it's good to give yourself a consequence.
Right.
Right?
Right. All right.
I think it's good to give yourself a consequence, right? Because yeah, you won't do what you have to do unless you lose something, right? And a lot of times, like for me, my motivation for getting in shape was because my blood pressure was high. I was in the ambulance and I'm hearing the EMT say, I'm surprised he's not having a stroke.
Wow.
I don't want a stroke, right? I don't want any heart troubles and stuff like that. My blood pressure high and they're wondering why I'm not having a stroke. I need to get myself together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I start Googling, hey, how do I get my blood pressure down? Hey, exercise. Okay, I got to exercise. That's kind of working a little bit. Is what you eat. Okay. I have to eat the right thing. What is it that I have to eat? Blueberries. I didn't like blueberries. I love blueberries now. I didn't like them.
Right.
Kale. Okay, so I put kale, blueberries, and water in a blender. Mix that up and drink it. It's better than taking a pill. And my blood pressure start coming down. I start eating better. My weight start coming down. My shape start getting better. And I'm like, okay, this is good. But I had to discipline myself. I had to like not eat the cake.
Right.
I had to not eat the candy. I had to not drink the soda. Right. I had to drink the water when I didn't want to drink the water.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I had to like take my kids to Wendy's. Can't get that spicy chicken sandwich. Right. I can't get anything. I have to wait till I go home and eat sardines.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's less calories and it's going to be good protein. You know, I have to eat lettuce and boiled eggs and stuff.
Right.
When I really want that chicken sandwich. I want that Whopper or whatever it is. I want the fries. You know what I'm saying? And you know, just take it to money. You may want the Jordans. You may want the this or that. Right. But you need to save your money, so you're like, you know what? I can't look like everybody else. I may want the certain car. I can't have that right now, right? But I will get the Tesla.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We will get the Tesla. Or whatever car it is that we want, the Range Rover, the Corvette, all three. Why not? You know what I'm saying? We will have the home that we want, right? But it takes a discipline on our end, right? We pray to God. But it takes a discipline on our end. It takes patience on our end. Yes, be patient with yourself, but discipline at some point has to just kick in and say, The Rock has this saying on social media, one day or day one, right? So you can keep saying, one day I'll do it, one day I'll do it, or you can say, this is day one.
Right.
You can't get 1,000 unless you start with one, right? So you start with day one, and be disciplined on day one. Right. Be disciplined the full day one. Right. Become a disciplined person. Not because there's so many areas in to be disciplined in. Right. I feel like I'm talking a whole lot, but is this cool?
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump in there.
Okay.
And rewind it a little bit because when you saying consequence. Yeah. And you were saying when you were saying that, but when you were saying all these foods that like your consequence was, you know, if you about the blood pressure and things like that. But when you were speaking about the food, like I took the kids here to get this, and or people eat that, or with like burgers and fries. So your consequence, not saying you, but everyone, like as a whole, your consequence might be if you don't beat yourself up for saying, "Oh my God, I ate this burger," you're gonna gain that weight.
Right, you're gonna have a worse consequence.
You're gonna have a worse consequence. Now that consequence is gonna come from now you gotta work harder to get that bad food out of your system or to lose that weight. So I'd rather take the route of having a consequence of don't do this because this is what's gonna happen. I'd rather get to that point before I get to that point, if that makes sense. So
exactly,
it's good to have consequences. Yes,
right. Like I didn't want the stroke. I didn't want the heart attack or whatever it is.
And you could have prevented that.
That could come with blood pressure. Yes. Right. So to prevent that, I'll give myself a consequence of now you got to run a little longer.
Right. Because you were saying on the steps, you did this to yourself. And now you got to talk to yourself like that. Right. I mean, but it's good that you talk to yourself like that because it could be so much worse.
Right. Like I said, don't beat yourself down. Those consequences will beat you down. the sickness and the disease and all that stuff.
Yes.
You beat yourself up.
Yes.
Right. So you say, you know what? It's your fault, but we're gonna get better.
Yes. Yep.
Right. If you spend too much money, now you gotta give yourself a consequence. You can't spend anything.
Right.
You can't go and do this. You can't do anything that you want to do. You have to make sure that you put that money back with interest on yourself, because the other people are going to give you interest. Give yourself interest. Like, become a again, there's so many areas to be disciplined in, right? So I'm sorry.
No, so I was going to say, even when you was talking about just the bank, and it just be flowing to me when you say it, but when you said like the consequence, now I see the consequence of you telling yourself that I don't have money in the bank. You know, you might have $500 in the bank, or you might have $1,000 in the bank. That consequence, you telling yourself I don't have, and now, can you imagine if you spend and spend and spend and spend? Now that consequence is negative, drawn, or whatever.
Right.
So it's like, no, you have to be disciplined not to spend that money. This is what I have, and this is what I can spend. This is what I should not spend, or your consequence is going to be negative or overdrawn.
And
however you see it.
Have a goal, right? You have a goal. So you say, I want to save this much, but I have to have at least this much saved at a certain time or whatever. So you have a goal, and again, give yourself discipline. And if you are, I believe that you do, how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So
that is your motto.
Yeah, I believe that. So I believe to become a disciplined person in all areas, just in your life, right? So what happens is if you're disciplined in your finances for a little bit, then you fall off. That's the same thing you're doing your health. You do it and fall off, and you exercise a little bit, fall off, right? But if you become a disciplined person, then you'll do what you have to do, right? You'll do what you have to do in every area. You set goals, you follow your goals, right? Again, back to the integrity. Have integrity with yourself, that you say, I say I'm going to do this, so I do it because I said I'm going to do it, right? If I say I'm going to get up, then I'm going to get up. If I say I'm going to exercise, then I'm going to exercise. If I say I'm going to pray, then I'm going to pray, right? Don't make vows and then don't keep them. The Bible says something about that. It's not a good thing. Right. So don't make vows and don't keep them. The Bible also says that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Right. So you say, I want to do it, but then your body's like, I don't want to do it. You're double-minded. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you don't realize it. But you somewhere that must be some type of double mind. Like, I know people tend to say, oh, that's between sin and not sin. Yeah, but also, what you say you want to do and then what you're doing are two different things. That's double-minded. I want to get up in the morning, but when the alarm go off, I go to sleep. Now then you become unstable.
Did y'all ever? I never thought of that. You become
unstable in everything. How you do one thing is how you do all things. But if you get up in the morning, you train yourself to do that. Then you train yourself to eat right. Then you train yourself right. You train yourself to think right. And now everything starts to get in place, and now you become a successful person in life.
Question. Habits. If you do habit, like if you keep doing the same habit, would that become a discipline?
Okay.
That just came to my head. It's a question for the...
I believe discipline can help you build good habits. Okay. I believe you
so it would be the discipline and then the habits, or the habits and then discipline, or...
It depends. It depends, because the lack of discipline can cause bad habits, right? The lack of discipline in your eating, now you have a bad habit of drinking soda.
Okay,
right?
That makes sense, yeah.
You didn't have to discipline yourself to drink soda. Right. You just drink the soda, but now you have this bad habit. To have the good habit, you have to wean yourself off of the soda. Okay. So you say, I'm going to drink water, right? I have to discipline myself not to drink the soda, to drink water, until water becomes a habit. Is no longer discipline. It's just what I do. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, water is what I do. I don't drink soda. Sense. Like, it just... Yeah. I go to the restaurant, they're like, what you want to drink? Water. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Just like when you want to go like vegan, if you want to tell yourself you want to go vegan and you try it and you keep going and you keep going, it now becomes a habit. Right. A good habit. Right. So I see where, I got it. You made sense.
For instance, I went to the cardiologist. It was either the cardiologist or my doctor, Dr. Richardson. She's the best doctor there is. Dr. Kimberly
Shout
Richardson.
outs.
Yeah, but I believe it was her, and I said, Doc, it was my blood pressure and all this stuff, and they're like, you have to come off the salt. And when I started not eating salt, I said, but my body craves the salt. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm like, after I'm exercising, it craves the salt. Like, what do I do? And she said, well, your tongue craves what you give it.
Yeah.
Right? So you discipline yourself to now eat the right thing. Mm-hmm. Then your tongue starts wanting the right thing. Remember I said I didn't like blueberries.
Right.
But now I love blueberries because I
Right.
disciplined myself. Now blueberries are a habit. Mm-hmm. I can't go to the store without saying I need some blueberries.
Right.
Right? I need blueberries. If there's anything I'm going to buy in the grocery store, blueberries.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that became a habit.
Right.
Hated them. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I taste food, I'm like, this is too salty. And the person like, well, I didn't put that much salt. But for me, it's too salty because I lessened the salt a whole lot, right? And now sugar is still kind of a habit because of cake and stuff like that.
That's a dangerous
I don't really
habit.
like cake, but I love the cake that my mom makes.
Oh.
Katie makes the best cakes, I tell you that.
For sure.
But shout out to Katie for making the best cakes in the world, the best pound cake ever. If you need a cake,
hit us up.
Hit us up. Katie can make you a cake, $70, and she'll make you a pound cake.
Comment down below for whatever occasion.
It'll make you a bad habit, but anyway.
Oh my gosh.
That's not the point. It's so delicious.
It's good,
It's a habit that you want.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I had to come off the candy though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had to do that and discipline myself enough so that I don't, because blood pressure has something to do with the sweets as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure.
But anyway, discipline is so important. It's so important to have discipline with yourself. And speaking of me taking my kids, I have to teach my kids discipline as well. I raise them on the bad food, but I have to teach them how to discipline themselves on the good food. And I have to be disciplined in myself enough to say no to them.
Right.
You can't have this. We have to be better because I don't want you to be in my position that I was in at my age when you get there.
Let me double dutch. Double dutch. But the taste. We're speaking of the not the taste, the power of the tongue.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the power of the tongue, but you were talking about taste.
Yeah.
Like even with the pound cake and things for like that. Not just watching what you say, power of the tongue. You have to watch what you eat. Power of the tongue. Okay, because it's hard to turn the plate down sometimes. So you need that discipline.
That thing can make you sick.
Yes, it will make you sick because it's all going back to the high blood pressure. And you were saying the blood pressure, a lot of the stuff. A lot of times they tell us it's the salt. A lot of times they tell us the salt, but we got to know that sugar is what gets us, like really on low key. Or some of y'all know and some of y'all don't, but that sugar goes. Salt and sugar, not our friend. But we got to have the discipline to turn the plate down, or we have to have the discipline to just eat better. And again, the consequence, you got to just keep that in mind, is the discipline or you get the consequences. And now which consequence you want, you can tear yourself down or you can build yourself up.
And one last thing I wanted to say was we have to have discipline to tell others no for ourselves, right? My life, I was always like giving people my time, my energy and all that stuff, right? And then when it came to me, I didn't have any, or I had a little bit and I wanted people to help me and they're like, whatever, right? But in order for me to help you, in order for me to be good to anybody, I can't be good to everybody if I'm going to be good to anybody, right?
Yes. That's good.
And if I try to be good to everybody, I can't be good to anybody. You understand what I'm saying?
It's impossible to be good to everybody.
So I have to learn how to say, oh, you need me? No. That's a complete sentence. No. Right? I can't do it. I can't do what you want me to do.
Right.
It is what it is.
Right.
They say, oh, that's selfish. Well, they taught us that selfishness was bad.
Right.
But selfishness, you have to care for yourself first. I have to care for me first. What they say about in the airplane, they say, in case of an emergency, if we fallen, put your gas mask on first. Then you can take care of somebody else, right? But we're taught, take care of everybody else, right? Take care of them. And then what's going to happen to me?
All right.
How can I take care of them? I can't breathe. But if I put my gas mask on first, then I can breathe.
Right.
And then I can help you.
Right.
Right? I learn how to swim first, and then I can save you.
Right.
Right? And then they're like, you're selfish. And well, Jesus wasn't selfish. Well, Jesus had to be selfish sometimes. I mean, you may not see it as selfish, but I see the Bible the way I see it.
Right.
And they said, Jesus, your friend Lazarus is dying. Not dead, dying. Jesus said, okay, I'm going over here and I'm going to sleep. What? You're going to sleep? His sisters is like, where's Jesus at? He being selfish. He know he can come and heal Lazarus.
Right.
The disciples like, Jesus, that's your friend. You can go heal him. Now I'm going to go to sleep. Lazarus die. Jesus wake up. I mean, he didn't sleep for 4 days, but Jesus comes along after 4 days like, okay, Lazarus is dead. I got to go see about him. He been dead for 4 days. Like, what's going on? Right? Yes, I had to go do what you thought was selfish.
Right.
Go to sleep, get some energy, because I'm about to raise this man from the dead.
Right.
And if I didn't raise him, if I didn't go to sleep for those days and I came right away, you wouldn't see that I'm the resurrection and the life.
Right.
That I have the power to raise him from the dead. Right? You already know I have the power to heal. But in order for me to help and see this situation, help you see that you can do, I said greater works shall you do. So if I can raise somebody from the dead, you can raise somebody from the dead, but you won't know it until I show you. Right? The dudes was on the boat. The storm is happening. Jesus over there being selfish, sleeping. They scared. He know they scared, but
Sleeping.
He had to allow. he had to allow them to be scared, to go through the storm, so that he could wake up in the midst of the storm, speak to the winds and the waves, say peace be still, and show them the same power, again, back to the power that works in you, right? According to the power that works in you, the power that works in him is the same power that works in you.
Yes.
You can speak to the winds and the waves and tell them to obey.
Yes.
You can tell them peace be still. But if I didn't go to sleep and I just stopped the winds and the waves before they came, you would be like, Jesus did it. But because he was selfish and sleeping and taking care of his own self at the time, he could wake up and show them. You know what I'm saying? When he was raised from the dead, he said, wait, don't touch me. Right? I have to be selfish right now.
Right.
I have to go see the Father first. I'll come back, I'll talk to y'all before I ascend and all that. But right now, don't touch me.
Right.
You can't touch me. I'm in another state. I'm in another mindset, right? And that's how we got to be. I'm in another mindset, right? I'm on another plane. It's somewhere that I have to go.
Right.
And although you need me, although you say you want me, oh, can you do this? Can you? No, I can't, because I have to do for me.
Right.
I have to build me. After I build me, I'll come back and I can help you.
Amen.
And then, you know what I'm saying? I could have been helped a bunch of people.
Right.
I look at a bunch of people, I could have helped a bunch of people.
Right.
But I was wanting them to help me. I'm trying to help them at the same time. I don't have the capacity to really help them, but I know that I can.
Right.
But if I would have helped me first, right? I sang with a group. Shout out to my homies, right? I sang with a group. I was dealing with a production company at some point, and I was asked by my family to go to Germany. I was asked to go to Germany and sing in Germany, right? They're like, go stay in Germany and sing in Germany. I'm like, nah, we got something good going on here.
Wow.
Right? We got something good going on here. So I did that. Groups No More, production company I was with, they decided they wanted to do other things, whatever. And here I go. I could have been in Germany doing my thing. That's where the Backstreet Boys started. They were big in Germany. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
David Hasselhoff, he big. I'm just saying, people big. The world is bigger than.
Maybe we should move to
the
Germany.
world is bigger than. I got an uncle in Germany too. The world is bigger than the United States, right? So if I'd have went to Germany, did my thing in Germany, I could have came back and helped people.
Yeah.
But instead, I stayed around my same area, trying to help people. And then I looked like those people didn't really need my help, didn't want my help. I couldn't help them. because I didn't have the capacity to help, but I wanted to.
Right.
I'm thinking we gonna do this together. I should have went and took care of myself.
Right.
So now, no, I can't do it. I have to be disciplined enough to say no. So
can I give you a round of applause? Because I notice you do say no more. And again, it's important to be selfish and say no sometimes, because if you give of yourself so much, if you pour and pour and pour out of yourself, you have an empty cup. So what can you do? How can you help? Right. If you would have went to Germany, you would have been filled. You know what I mean? And going back to getting up early in the morning to go to the filler, which is Jesus, having that devotional time, and to have yourself be filled, we can go and then pour. Like we could have poured out into the people that was in the car, or the lady who was there with her kids. You never know what you are being used for, but you have to be disciplined, and you have to care about yourself, and be a little selfish is fine. That is all right. They taught us to not be selfish. Somewhere they taught us, and I mean, to not be selfish. They taught us to not be selfish, but it is okay to be selfish, because if you give of yourself,
not stingy.
That's two different things, and y'all know the difference. Okay, we got a mature audience. Y'all know the difference. But yeah, they taught us to be selfish, not to be selfish, but in reality, being selfish is what keep you sane. Being selfish is what help you stay whole and complete. And it's what actually helps you help others, right? They say help people. Yes.
Okay, so I have to be selfish at some point.
Yes.
In some area in order to help somebody else. I have to take care of me. And that's where discipline comes in. Discipline is for you. Discipline helps you build you, right?
Correct.
And the only reason why we want certain things and do certain things is for other people anyway, right? There's certain things you wouldn't want to do unless you maybe saw it on TV, or maybe you saw somebody else with it, or whatever it is, right? If you were Adam was chilling. Adam didn't even want the apple off the tree until Eve came along.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's certain things like we learn how to be disciplined. We can be disciplined. I don't even know that I want it until you tell me.
Right.
So discipline helps you be a better you, and you being a better you helps you be a better you for other people.
Yes.
Right.
Agreed.
Man, I think that's good.
I think that's awesome.
I think we just did an episode. This outfit is really dope.
I hope we did an episode.
Yeah, I know we did. So the mic is on.
Check.
I hope the camera's looking good.
Check.
Nah, we getting this together, y'all. Yes. We're really doing this.
We're growing. And
anyway,
you're here to witness the growth. Hopefully you can see it. Stick with us. Please, guys, I hope that you are motivating yourselves and encouraging yourself, and just know that discipline goes a long way. Discipline keeps you going. Motivation started, discipline keeps it. Okay.
Yeah. And thank you for watching this episode of the P.O.T.T podcast, Power of the Tongue.
Power of the Tongue.
Remember to like, subscribe, share, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the P.O.T.T podcast. Subscribe to this channel at the P.O.T.T podcast, P.O.T.T.
Yep.
At the P.O.T.T podcast, Power of the Tongue.
And make sure to hit the notification bell if you that type of person, because I know some people. And then hit the notification bell because we upload a video or episode every week.
Yeah. And we're holding ourselves accountable to that. And I want to give a shout out to FJ Styles. If you need any clothing, any merch, you'll see us with some shirts, and she did this shirt for me. She did that shirt, that hat. But she makes a bunch of clothes. You'll see a bunch of stuff that we do. If you need any merch, check out fjstyles.com.
Yes.
Check her out on Etsy. FJ Styles. You can go to I am FJ Styles on Instagram. You can hit her up at
the phone number. You can hit me up at 484-808 7750. Proverbs, the 20th book, is our Christian clothing line. Okay, Proverbs is the 20th book in the Bible. Okay, we're trying to reach the streets. Okay,
Right.
we're trying to reach the lost. We're trying to go out into a dying world,
And
guys.
the fear of the Lord is the beginning. Is the beginning of what? Wisdom.
Yes.
And the beginning
Yes.
of knowledge, right?
Yep.
And that's in Proverbs. And Proverbs, the book of wisdom.
Yes,
So,
trust in the Lord with all your heart. Also
Yeah.
in Proverbs, it's good things. Pick up the book and read it.
So remember, go to God,
Go to God.
be motivated,
Yes.
but most of all, be disciplined.
Yes.
We love you.
We love you guys.
The number one podcast.
Number one,
The Pot.
power of the tongue.
Peace and blessings.
Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to
Like,
Comment.
subscribe, share, everything. You know what I'm
Share,
saying? We're getting
share.
this together. But thank you.
Thank you, guys. We
subscribe.
appreciate it. Subscribe.
Follow us. The number one
Follow.
podcast.
Number one. Speak it.
The Pot.
Power of the tongue.
Peace and blessings.
Peace.